All right. Welcome to the Off the Rails Sports Podcast. I'm your host, JT. Brother Brian and Brother Scott aren't here today. I was going to do a podcast with Scott, but I kind of, logistically, it just didn't quite work out. Friday, I'm going to be lucky enough to have them both on. I'm traveling back tomorrow, so I can't do the usual Thursday one with baseball with Brian. Unfortunately, it's my bad. He was really understanding about it, he usually is. But yeah, Friday, we're going to have some podcasts with both of them, and hopefully down the road we'll be able to get them both on there, and they can both acknowledge my greatness and brilliance. Yeah. If you could, though, leave some comments. I always appreciate what's going on out there. And I'm going to start with a little rant here. Maybe you saw the short today that I was watching TNT. I was watching the hockey game between Edmonton and St. Louis. Edmonton impressively won it. St. Louis has been literally hotter than a Texas griddle in barbecue season. I made that out. Aren't I witty? Okay. And the announcers were Alex Faust and Jennifer Bottenhill. And I could hear his mic really, really well. I could hear everything. Well, it helps when he's the play-by-play guy, right? I mean, hello. But hers, I could barely literally make out every third word. And I've heard her before, and she is really, really smart. You know that lady put some real serious time in. She ain't pulling no Wayne Gretzky. Oh, let me show up to the studio. Hey, FanDuel, let me make some bets. Okay, yeah. Hey, Wayne, what would you do in this situation if you were down 2-1? Well, I'd score 2 goals. All right, thanks, Wayne. I thought maybe you'd say, you'd sit up behind the net. Maybe you'd get the power play going from the point. No. I just scored 2 goals. All right, sounds good. And her mic was demonstrably lower, the sound, than her partner's. And, look, I am on the other side of the political aisle, okay? I get it. When it comes to this, I'm not DEI. I'm not, okay? Maybe I'm not as adamant about it as others. To me, the best color person in all of sports, for me, is Doris Burke in the NBA. That lady knows her stuff. And literally what you get is, and I'm even going to say it, the Reggie Millers. Yeah, he's getting better. There's no doubt about it. But most of those guys are just effing terrible. C-Webb and, Richard Hamilton and all the other clowns. And they are clowns. They're terrible. And, when they get terrible enough, Greg Anthony, oh my God. I mean, I'm glad we brought him back after he got nabbed for some prostitution charges. It's great. Glad he's on the road to recovery. It's just fantastic. Hey, second chances for everybody but immigrants, right? And I literally heard every third word by Jennifer Botterill, and I'm thinking to myself, TNT does their telecast better than anybody. And because they allow them to talk. But man, how come nobody's picking up on the sound disparity here? I mean, I want to hear what this lady's got to say. All right, that's enough of that bullshit tonight. All right, let's move on. The biggest story in sports was Luca Doncic returning to his home, his old home in Dallas. He's now a Laker. Nico Harrison made the trade 2 months ago. 45 points, wiped away the tears from the ovation that he got from the fans. The fans, it's like the Boston Red Sox when we trade Mookie, but at least we didn't do it during the season. Oh my God, and then come back? Oh my God, how hard would that have been? And honestly, there's never been a trade like the Luca Doncic. I mean, it came out of nowhere and, whatever. Scored the 45 points. J.J. Redick in the post-game press conference said, he should have got 50. Yep. He wanted it. You know he wanted to put that stake right through Nico Harrison's heart. And I don't blame him. They won 112-97. Locked up the 4 seed. And it's hard to believe it's been 2 months. I mean, I still, even 2 months later, I can't get my goddamn head around it. That they traded this generational talent for some pick-aparts. All right. Hey, you got Anthony Davis. He had 11 points and 13 rebounds. Great. Fantastic. You should go good. Hey, probably be another 2 weeks till he's back on the court. He's probably got some calf issues. Don't worry about it. All right, let's turn to the Denver Nuggets. David Adelman, the new interim coach after they fired their championship-winning Mike Malone, said that the Nuggets can still do something special. No shit. What are they supposed to say? Oh, we're done. We're effed. You know? Hello? Of course he's got to say, oh, what a shock. Another NBA guy whose dad was NBA head coach, Rick Adelman, from the legendary run with the Sacramento Kings. Yeah. No nepotism in that league. Let me tell you, if you took away nepotism, I don't even know if they'd have 4 coaches. I'm not a J.J. Redick fan, but he made it there on his own. You know? Look what they got. All right. Today, opening day of the Masters. Second greatest golf tournament in the world. But it does have the best tradition of anything. 89th showing. Your chalk favorites are Scotty Scheffler at about plus 400. That's huge. I mean, that is a favorite. Usually you see the best golfer in a tournament at 8-1, 6-1. I mean, this is almost NASCAR odds. Rory McIlroy, second choice at 7-1. I like Colin Morikawa. I'm interested about Oberg from the Live Tour. I really like Cam Smith. And I do like Shane Lowry. Yeah, John, you sound like Darrell Waltrip in NASCAR. Yeah, I like 45 different guys. No, I like Colin Morikawa, I like Shane Lowry, and I like Cameron Smith, okay? Christ's sake, there's 90 golfers there. I can't pick 3? God dang, man, you're tough. Son of a gun. You ever hear these podcasts where everybody picks everybody? Oh, yeah, I like that guy. I like Robert McIntyre at 51. Yeah, I do too. But if he comes in second, I get 0. Duh. You got to cash the ticket, like Scott and I talk about. You got to cash the ticket. I like the odds. I get it, because you hit 150-1. Like, for instance, Scott's smoking me in the NASCAR betting, right? He's already picked 2 winners. I just got to hit one of these winners like Josh Berry at 50-1. Then I can equal out with the guy. Of course, that's not going to happen. He's smarter than me about NASCAR. But don't ever tell him that. You know, if you want to, you can leave it in the comments. All right, let's run down what happened in baseball yesterday. Oh, Clippers smoked Houston, too. I watched that game. I thought about betting Houston. I was like, thank God I didn't. Oh, that was a train wreck. The Pirates beat the Cardinals 2-1. Took the series. Marlins 5-0 over the Mets. Kind of nice bounce back for them. The Yankees 4-3 over the Tigers. And I noticed a play in the 9th inning. You know, it's the typical game. You know, you got a 4-0 lead, and then the other team gets a single, gets a walk. Then they get another walk, and then, you know, they get a single. And they had runners on second and third, and they were down, the Tigers in the 9th inning, and they're down by 3 runs, right? So the guy for the Tigers, I know, yeah, I'm such a great sports podcaster, I say the guy. He hits a single, right? So what does Aaron Judge do? He's out there and right. He comes up throwing to the home plate. And the guy goes from the guy who's single goes to second. And I'm like, the run at the plate doesn't mean crap. I mean, if you get him, oh yeah, you're the hero. I get it. Okay? Yeah, well, that's great. But you can't let the guy get into scoring position. And I'm watching the telecast, and they're kind of hinting around it, but you don't want to say nothing about Aaron Judge. You know, he did have 2 RBIs on the game, but I was like, you know, there's the fundamental breakdown in baseball. Like, you know what? Okay, You got a 25% chance throwing them out at the plate. Okay, you want to do the hero call. That's all well and good. But you got to keep that runner off second base. Because if they get a single, they still haven't tied the game. Just stupid baseball. But you know what? I expect nothing more or nothing less from the Yankees. Because they're stupid. Leave a comment. Hit like and subscribe. All right. Rangers avoided the sweep at Chicago. They won the last game 6-2. Padres beat the Athletics 2-1, and Brian and I had a little texting war about, I think that stadium is just terrible. I mean, I'm looking for the bounce house out there in the outfield. But Brian said it's cute. We will be talking about that Friday. I can tell you that right now. D-backs beat the Cardinals 9-0. Giants 8-6 over the Reds. Reds won 2 out of 3. Seemed like they were in this game. They were in this game. They could have swept the series. Carl Yastrzemski's grandson, Mike Yastrzemski, hit one into the bay, all of Barry Bonds. It's kind of nice. Dodgers salvaged the final game of their 3-game series with Washington, 6-5. They had to rally. They were down 5-4. But the Dodgers, they're just tough. They can run off 10, 11 in a row. Mariners rallied to beat the Astros 7-6. Grand slam in the 8th brought them almost all the way back, and then they won it in 9. Guardians 3-2 over the White Sox. And I'm telling you right now, I'm the only guy who's going to tell you this who's not named Steve Stone. The White Sox, they're competitive. They are competitive. I don't know what we're going to see in the dark days of July and August, but man, they were in this game. They were in every game of this series. Blue Jays celebrating Vlad's huge contract. Beat the Red Sox in extra innings 2-1 and watch that game. It's like slow burn. It's like being waterboarded. It's like, Christ, man. Why can't you score a run? Rays beat the Angels 5-4. Phillies beat the Braves 4-3. Braves are off to a 2-9 start. 2-9 start. That's going real well. Twins beat the Royals 4-0. And the Brewers, 17. The Colorado Rockies, 2. They're also 2-9, the same as the Braves. And make sure, Rob Manfred, we can get that revenue sharing check over to him real soon. Because they're not putting it in the field. They're not putting it in the product. They're not putting it in the front office. They're stuffing the owner's pocket with it. Yeah. I feel bad for any Colorado fan. Because goddamn. All right. If you could, hit that like and subscribe button. Appreciate it. Leave some comments, and we'll see you soon.